On March 10th, 1976, is the very first time we heard the phrase, "The opera ain't over until the fat lady sings." And it all happened down in Texas. Here's the story behind this iconic phrase in sports on Daily Sports History. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide to a rapid deep dive into sports history every day. Now, the phrase "ain't over till the fat lady sings" is a common one we've heard through sports and beyond. And it is crazy to think that it all happened in Texas, where there's not a lot of opera. But where's the origin? Where did this phrase come from? And how did Texas sports become involved in this? First, let's go to what happened for this phrase to be uttered first. It all happened in 1976 when Ralph Carpenter was doing a report on the Dallas Morning News, talking about the Texas Red Raiders going against the Texas A&M Aggies for the finals of the Southwest Conference basketball tournament. And he said it's a tight one, but the opera ain't over till the fat lady sings. Now, this phrase didn't get much utterance after that until 2 years later when Dick Motta, another Texas journalist, was talking about the Washington Bullets facing off against the San Antonio Spurs as the Spurs were trying to come back and saying, "The opera ain't over till the fat lady sings." So how does this phrase that really doesn't seem to fit in American culture, as the opera is more of a European culture thing, even though the opera is here, we have great operas, especially in New York, but it's not as popular as it is and has always been in Europe. Well, it has very little to do with the opera. It actually goes back to church. And there's an instance in a newspaper in October 17th, 1872, where they say, as long as the organ is playing, church is not out. Has a similar meaning to "it ain't over till the fat lady sings." And it gets done again in the Fort Worth Gazette in 1884, where they say, "Church is never out till people get through singing." And again in the New York Tribune in 1896, when they say, "Church is never out till they stop singing." You can kind of see as they go, they're kind of morphing it into the common phrase we hear today. And in 1976, the Baltimore Sun commentator actually said, "Church ain't over till the choir stops singing." And that same year, there's another publication called the Southern Words and Sayings, said, "Church ain't over till the fat lady sings," which eventually got our final step to "the opera ain't over till the fat lady sings," which we've dropped the opera part and we go, "it ain't over till the fat lady sings." Now, why is opera involved in this? Well, it all goes back to this famous opera, Guter Damerang, which is a story about Norse gods, and it has the final farewell singing of a Valkyrie warrior woman, Brunhilde, singing. It's very common. She's got those big horns, and it's after this, depending on the version you're watching, can be up to 4 to 14 hours long. Yes, there's versions that long. So the reason why opera's involved is because after this long opera, this usually played by a larger woman who we can kind of see as more masculine or muscular because she's a little bit larger, she sings this huge melody at the end, talking about the end of the world. And that's where opera comes from this. It's a mixture of American and European cultures, because Europeans don't say ain't, and Americans usually don't watch the opera, but it's a great mixture of the two, and a phrase that goes on into the lexicon to this day that we will always remember. Thank you for listening to today's Daily Sports History. If you like this, please go tell a friend about all you're learning about on Daily Sports History so they can join you too. And come back tomorrow for more Daily Sports History.